Hey, Craig here from The Run Experience, and today I am reviewing the Altra One version 3. I put a fair amount of mileage. As you can see, it's a pretty dusty shoe right now, so I'm looking forward to telling you all about it. Alright, so let's talk about fit and construction of this shoe. Now, first thing you want to notice here is this has like an EVA blown rubber midsole. I always like to study the midsole because that is where a lot of the change between shoes is happening these days. This is meant to be a light racing shoe, 5K and up, and it is really light. This is 7.9 ounces for a size 9, which is kind of the standard we go off of for weight. And that's a really light shoe. You could definitely use this as a racing shoe. It would definitely be my choice in my arsenal of racing shoes right now, but I was using it as a training shoe because it is super durable. Now, this EVA foam, it is a kind of like a blown rubber, and they say that the outsole has more of a rubber outsole, but what I found is that it really feels like they have a couple rubber nubbins here to kind of give it a little bit more durability, but it's largely the same material for the insole, for the midsole and the outsole. Sometimes it's a concern in terms of the wear, because EVA foam can wear down if it's used on the outsole and the surface of the shoe. I didn't find that to be the case. I've put in probably close to 200 miles on these shoes, and they're holding up just perfectly. Now, the upper is something I want to talk about because the upper here, well constructed. If you compare it to the Escalante, also by Altra, the upper is way different. In the Escalante, this is like a woven upper, and my foot moved around a lot. This has kind of a lattice structure and a breathable upper, but way better in terms of holding my foot in. Now, the thing I want to notice about the upper here is they have something called asymmetrical lacing. I wasn't a huge fan of this, and there were some people online that also weren't huge fans. It didn't seem to bother me that much, but it was just kind of weird. So the asymmetrical lacing here is the tongue of the shoe is actually stitched to the upper of the shoe on the inside of it. So in this case, it's the left shoe, it's on the right side. And so when you start putting the shoe on and you're kind of pulling on it, it feels weird because all of a sudden one side is attached to the shoe and the other side is loose. I didn't find that it seemed to make the shoe fit any better, and it was kind of a mild annoyance when I was tying the shoes, but it really didn't make much difference once I was in the shoe and running. So I wouldn't really dock it that many points for it, but I'd say it's kind of a fail from my perspective in terms of that innovation from Altra. But one of the things you'll also notice is the heel collar here is really thick. There's a lot of padding around here. Some people like that. I would prefer a slightly thinner heel collar. I don't feel like I need it to like really cushion my ankle that much. I would prefer that it hugs a little bit tight. But that being said, because there was a thick padding there, I didn't heel lock these shoes. They have a lace loop for that heel lock, which we've talked about in other videos. I didn't feel the need that this shoe needed it. It didn't deform a lot when I was landing, so I didn't feel like it really had to lock in my ankle any more than the shoe naturally did. So that's the construction of the shoe, and let's go on to some of the other parts. All right, let's go into likes and dislikes and just my general experience with this shoe. First of all, this used as a trainer worked really, really well for me. It's labeled as a racer because it's a really light shoe, but there are a lot of racers that'll beat you up a little bit because they don't have much cushioning, or they'll break down really quickly because they're not made out of materials that are meant to last very long. I had neither of those experiences with this shoe. It is perfectly fine right now, and I've put in, I think, close to 200 miles on this. I would continue to use this as a training shoe because I like using these light racers as training shoes, but what I really want to note is that it is a very durable yet still light shoe, which is amazing. Now, I mentioned the tongue thing, not a big deal, but probably not my favorite part of the shoe. I don't think they should have done that. They call it asymmetrical lacing. The thing I want to mention about this shoe, and this is my personal experience, is that this is the second version of shoe that I've actually had, and I love so many things about it, but I've had this experience where I've rolled my ankle twice now, once in this shoe and once in its previous predecessor, and I am not somebody who has had many rolled ankles in my running career. I have a theory on this, and it's that the way Altra makes these road shoes, it tapers out a little bit, and many shoes do this, but it tapers out a little bit in this midsole area. Secondly, it has a wide forefoot. So what happens is, I roll my ankle, meaning I'll roll my foot over many, many times, over the course of months of running or years of running now, but it usually doesn't actually result in an injury. With these shoes, this one and the previous one, what happened was, because of that tapered out, when my ankle rolled over, it was kind of like a cliff, and it spilled all the way over, and it was really hard to actually kind of retract my ankle and put myself back in form. It was usually because I was using this shoe in a place where it's not meant to be used. Like I like road running, but I often jump off onto a trail in the park. And so in these kind of scenarios where I'm using a road shoe a little bit on the trail, there's a little bit more instability. It doesn't change my like for the shoe and my love for the shoe. I really love this shoe, but I would be careful, and I am careful now, to only use it in road situations and nothing that is on the trail. All right, so price. This shoe comes in just at $100, which I think is an excellent price. This is actually priced like a racing flat, but of course, like I told you, I've been using it as a main trainer in a lot of my mileage during the week. And for $100, I think it's really priced well. There are a lot of shoes that are not nearly as well built as Altra built this one, and cost a lot more. So I really think for $100 is a great price point. Guys, that is it for my experience with the shoe. Just a reminder, this is a zero drop shoe, 18mm stack height. That means it's meant for someone with a neutral gait. There's no pronation control here. So just a reminder, fits me really well. Make sure that is the type of shoe you're looking for. If it is, you should definitely check this out. Keeping that in mind, we're at A Runner's Mind here in San Francisco. It's a wonderful chain of stores here in the Bay Area. We love them and highly recommend checking them out if you're here. If you're online, we have a relationship with the Running Warehouse, which is amazing because they have great customer support. You can call them up, they answer the phone and answer all your questions about this shoe or compared to any other shoes that you're thinking about. Now, again, guys, as with all of our reviews, let me know what you think. If you have questions, hit us up in the comments. If you have other things you want us to review, let us know. That's how we get all of our ideas for these videos. And of course, if you like this video, let me know, hit the like button. And of course, subscribe to our channel because we have videos on training, on shoe reviews, on gear reviews, on everything you need to know about becoming a better runner coming at you each and every week. And I will see you in the next one.